following is a presentation of HBO Sports.
The 29th bout of Amir Khan's professional career was supposed to be a revenge rematch. It was supposed to be against Lamont Peterson.
A fight which tests the will of both fighters.
The man who had defeated Khan over 12 hard-fought, controversial rounds last December. But when Peterson failed a drug test, their planned May 19 rematch went up in smoke and forced Khan to seek out another opponent. 24-year-old Danny Garcia wasn't supposed to be here so soon. The undefeated Philadelphia native had only just begun building his big fight resume. 4 months ago, Garcia scored his most significant victory.
Down goes Eric Morales!
A unanimous decision over fading Mexican star Eric Morales. And now fate has guided him unexpectedly into much deeper waters for a fight that could truly define his developing career.
Nobody talked about this fight. This fight wasn't planned. This is destiny. This was meant to be. This is my time.
Fought better opposition, beaten better opposition. I'm tougher, I'm stronger, I'm quicker, and I've got the tools to win this fight.
On a night that wasn't supposed to be, two fighters suddenly find themselves in the same place. Amir Khan versus Danny Garcia is next. Outside the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Event Center, where it is a cool, crisp 96 degrees right now. And we're going to bring you inside to the air conditioning for this special One Fight World Championship boxing telecast, which features Danny Garcia versus Amir Khan. Hello again, I'm Jim Lampley, and welcome to World Championship Boxing. A week ago, from our Boxing After Dark telecast in Carson, California, we offered you, our viewers, a polling opportunity, a chance to tell us who you think would win tonight's fight. Let's take a look at the results. And you can see that 58% of those of you who responded think that Amir Khan is going to win this by knockout, 26% by decision, meaning only 16% of those of you who responded make Danny Garcia the winner in the fight. That's not terribly surprising, given that Khan has had far greater exposure, has appeared here on HBO more often than Garcia, and is by far the more celebrated prize fighter. But Danny Garcia may well be one of the most underrated commodities in the sport. We'll find out tonight. And if you followed the build-up to the fight at all, you know that most of the media attention has centered on the shocking comments of Garcia's father and trainer, Angel, who, to the discomfort of almost everybody else, seemed to want to turn this into some kind of Pakistani Muslim versus Hispanic American war. Yesterday, at our meeting with Garcia and his father, we asked him about that subject.
Listen, I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I ain't never met a Pakistani that could fight. I'm being racist. I'm just being honest.
Mr. Garcia, you've carried all of the pre-fight publicity with your incendiary comments, and you must realize that the reaction among boxing media is not terribly favorable. I mean, you're being excoriated, and people are calling you an idiot, etc. So what was the point? What exactly are you looking for?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what they call me. I'm sure you had a purpose. What was the purpose?
The purpose is this. It's the truth. The truth is the truth, and it hurts. When you speak the truth, people don't like the truth.
What is the truth?
The truth is that he got knocked out of New York. He blamed him some crazy things. Everything I've been saying came out of his mouth. So how am I an idiot? They calling me racist, but
well, I mean, one of your big lines is, quote, "I've never met a Pakistani who can fight."
Well, that's my comment. That's my opinion. It's like I never met a Puerto Rican that can't swim.
Most of our viewers have never met a Pakistani. What's the point?
It's not a point to it. I'm just saying what my 49 years of my life.
You say an entire nation of people, quote, can't fight?
Well, listen, they burn American flags every day. Nobody say nothing.
Well, a lot of people are saying plenty about it.
I'm defending America, where we at right now, where we live at.
Well, all right, but
It doesn't matter what they say.
it looks as though you wanted to call
it.
attention away from the fight and toward
No,
yourself.
not me. I don't want nothing. I'll tell you what I want.
What do you think all of this is going to help?
I want a
there?
10 count. That's what I'm looking for.
What is your response to all the attention your father has got?
I just let him be him. That's how he's always been. And I just sit back and enjoy it.
All right, back live at ringside with our World Championship boxing expert commentator, the great Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel, my theory was that maybe Angel Garcia wanted to call all the attention to himself to take pressure off his son. Freddie Roach, Khan's trainer's theory, was they wanted to make Khan angry so that he would come in and fight the wrong fight, too aggressive. What's your thinking about all this?
Well, I think what we saw and heard is what we have. Sounding like Larry Merchant talking slow. But I really think that his son is the apple of this man's eye, and he loves his son. Such love I've never saw from a father. And I think sometimes his loves and emotions just end up with uncontrollable outbursts verbally, and that's just the way he is. But I don't think he's doing that just to get under Khan's skin to change the fight. I think that's just the way he is, and he really believes that his son is going to win this fight, and he really gets emotionally upset whenever he hears his son being knocked down and not respected as being a great fighter, and he's not favored to beat Khan.
All right, well, that's clear, and I love the subtle tribute to Larry. Meanwhile, if you followed Amir Khan's career, you know that he was hoping on May 19 to have his revenge assignment against Lamont Peterson following the controversial loss to Peterson last December. But that fight went away after Peterson tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Then there was a 3-week layoff after 7 weeks of training. Then another 7 weeks of training. And now this fight. Yesterday, or rather earlier in the week, I should say, our Max Kellerman asked Khan about all the disruptions leading into this fight.
Amir, Lamont Peterson tested positive for a performance enhancer because of a test that his camp requested you both submit to, random testing. You agree, he tests positive, fight canceled. What was going through your mind when that happened?
I mean, you know, I was so upset because I trained so hard for that fight. I was in the Philippines training alongside Manny Pacquiao, and I want to make sure I'm not going to make the same mistakes I made in the first fight by staying on the ropes too long, because that's not my style. You know, I'm a good boxer. I move, I go under shots, and I didn't do any of that, but I still believe I won the first time. So the second time in the rematch, I wanted to make sure I go in there and knock this guy out, and he was tested positive. The fight was called off a week before we was going to be in Vegas, and I was really upset because I did train very, very hard.
Meanwhile, the boxing world's looking at you, and I'm thinking, no good deed goes unpunished. You're willing to split money with Bradley, fight doesn't happen, he goes on to make big money, you're stuck without a dance partner because you agree to a test that your opponent asks for, and he tests positive.
Exactly. Well, it's crazy because, you know, I've always said I'm a clean fighter, and I've been clean all the way through my whole career. You know, I've been to Olympic Games, I've been tested from day one, so I know how this procedure works and what you should take and what you shouldn't take. And I'm very professional, a professional sportsman. But when they wanted the test, I didn't hum and ha. I said, look, fine, we'll take the test. And he was the one who got caught. So it just shows that I'm a clean sportsman, and all the way along, they were cheats. And plus, in the first fight, he admits he had taken the same stuff.
Meanwhile, you have this whole training camp, you come off it, no fight. You got to wait 2 more months to now fight Danny Garcia.
I've been very lucky to get this fight against Danny Garcia because, you know, the month of Ramadan starts a week after, on the 21st of July. So I needed to fight well before then.
Because you fast?
Because I fast around that period. So I'll be out of training, I'll be out of, you know, working out and stuff. So we got a date against Danny Garcia. I'm happy he took the fight on also because it's a big fight for him also. You know, and big fight for me. Meanwhile,
Angel Garcia, his father, boy, he's talking some stuff about you and...
Yeah. His father's gone a little bit too crazy, I think. He's gone talking bad about me, trash talking about my religion and my culture and everything. But you know, it goes in one ear, comes out the other ear. And I will make his son pay for whatever his dad said. I've never said this ever at a press conference. I will knock Danny Garcia out, and I will win the world title. At the press conference, I kind of said a few things just to kind of get him a little bit angry and hot-headed, and which he did. You know, he got really angry about things and he started yelling and shouting and making funny facial signs and stuff. But the thing is, that's boxing, you know, you're going to get that. It seems to me they're very nervous and very scared.
So what's the plan for Amir Khan going forward?
But I think the next thing for me will be to move up to the next weight category and go for new challenges.
Where Tim Bradley currently resides after getting that win officially against Manny Pacquiao, and where Floyd Mayweather fights.
That's right, you know, Tim Bradley could be a great fight for me. I mean, I know he avoided me when we was at 140 pounds. Maybe he takes the fight on against me at 147. So we'll be hoping for that fight. Also, Floyd Mayweather is someone that we're looking at. I think I'm the younger, hungrier. I think Floyd now he's going downhill a little bit now, whereas with me, I'm getting stronger, I'm going up, and I think it's the best time to catch Floyd Mayweather.
Thanks, Amir.
Thank you.
Back live at ringside with HBO boxing analyst Max Kellerman. And Max, maybe the heart of the matter is this. Of the last 17 weeks, he spent 14 of them in training. And that was broken up by a 3-week break in the middle. How difficult is that, getting ready for a fight?
Well, they used to do it in the old days, right? Make 4 or 5 title defenses if a guy won a title, non-title fights. Basically, they were training year-round with very little off time. And you know, the mythological old days, right? And maybe Khan is a throwback to those days when fighters behaved exactly as we wanted. They took on all comers as Khan did. They were clean of performance enhancers as Khan is. They fought constantly and trained constantly as Khan does. Did those days ever really exist? In every era, some fighters, a few, behave exactly as we wish prize fighters would. Amir Khan is one of those guys. Now the question is, Jim, can he give us the results we want every time, or at least tonight?
And another question, can he learn to fight off of the ropes after his difficulties in doing so against Lamont Peterson last December? Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for Amir Khan against Danny Garcia, and you'll see that Khan is 1 year older, though both fighters are in the prime youth of their careers. Khan with a 1.5-inch height advantage. He's the bigger man, basically. 1.5 inches in arm length advantage, possibly significant in the fight. Measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. They both weighed in at 139, and tonight Khan is rehydrated up to 148 and Garcia up to 150. That's quite normal. Now, before we come back to the subject of boxing, let's go into the ring to ring announcer Joe Martinez for a significant announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. The sport of boxing lost a true friend last night with the passing of Paul Hoggett, the senior audio technician for HBO Sports. For 34 years, Paul never missed an assignment. And ladies and gentlemen, he always kept things running smoothly here at ringside with his omnipresent hard hat. Tonight, we ask that you please rise in silence as we pay tribute to a man who embraced the sport of boxing and its community. At this time, please remain silent as we pay toll to Paul Hoggett with the Memorial 10 count. Thank you, and may he rest in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, the undefeated fighter from Philadelphia, PA, Danny Swift Garcia.
There's a lot of bad in the building. A couple real in the building. I'm finna kill in the building. I tell her wait to 50 bottles and she tell me say when and I say church. We make it light up like a church. She wanna and I say church.
Well, here comes Danny Garcia, who in his last fight took a title belt from the fading Eric Morales in Houston. Garcia is seen by many as the heavy underdog in the fight, Emmanuel Stewart. Perhaps one thing that's overlooked about it is that he had 130 amateur fights and won 117 of them. That's a terrific record.
I think it's something that's vastly overlooked. We all think automatically about Amir Khan's great amateur background, being that he was a silver medalist in the Olympics. But Garcia himself barely missed making the 2008 Olympic team. He was an alternate, just one guy beat him, and he had a solid amateur finisher, winning a lot of national championships. And I remember being in the tournaments and seeing him, never looking that impressive, never standing out in one area, but continually winning tournament after tournament after tournament. But he's the type of a fighter that you have to give credit for his amateur background and respect it.
He won 9 out of every 10 amateur fights he had, and he's won every pro fight he's had so far.
So he has the mentality of a winner, the experience of a winner. Even though he is not a spectacular fighter, there is no one great quality which sticks out about him. His father insists you can keep underrating him. Trust me, he will keep winning because he knows how to fight.
And now making his way to the ring from Bolton, England, Amir Khan.
Amir Khan began his professional career in his native Great Britain, ultimately made a decision to come to the United States and sustain his career here. Mostly, it appears, Max Kellerman, so that he could work with Freddie Roach at the Wild Card Gym.
And Freddie's done an incredible job with him, as he does with so many of his fighters. And Khan's eagerness to prove himself and become the best he could be is, to me, what stands out for him as a fighter. Though, in terms of the super fighters in the sport, the pound-for-pound type guys, the guys who may replace Mayweather and Pacquiao one day, he has yet to turn in consistent performances that make us believe that he won't one day belong there, but that he already is there.
Emmanuel, his hand speed is spectacular, his foot speed is good, he's extremely athletic, he's maybe the fastest starter in the sport, but his chin provides an opportunity for power punching opponents. Is Garcia a hard enough hitter to take advantage of that bad chin?
I don't think Garcia is a big puncher, but nevertheless, the fact that Amir Khan's chin is always going to be a question. He's been hurt at least on about 4 occasions, knocked out in 1 round in 1 occasion, and badly hurt by Madonna, so that's what makes him such an exciting fighter.
A chinny guy with a big heart.
Let's go to ring announcer Joe Martinez for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay Event Center here in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, this is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds scheduled for the vacant WBC Junior Welterweight Championship, brought to you by Ring Magazine, and the WBC WBA Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Presented by Golden Boy Promotions and Khan Promotions. Sponsored by Corona Extra, la cerveza más fina. And AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the chairman, Skip Avancino. Commissioners are Francisco Aguila, Bill Brady, TJ Day, and Pat Lundvall. The executive director, Keith Kaiser. WBC supervisor, Alberto Guerra. WBA supervisor, Aurelio Fiengo. The 3 judges scoring this bout at ringside on the 10-point must system. From Nevada, Adelaide Bird. From Nevada, Bert Clements. And from Ohio, Tom Miller. When the bell rings and the action begins inside, your referee in charge, from Nevada, Kenny Bayless. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready and the fighters are ready. Las Vegas, Nevada, let the world know you are ready! Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing tiger print trunks, he weighed in officially 139 pounds. This young professional enters the ring perfect. 23 bouts, 23 victories, no defeats, 14 wins, coming by way of knockout. The fighting pride of Philadelphia, PA, the current WBC Super Lightweight Champion of the World, undefeated Dennis Swift Garcia. And next his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing black, trimmed in gold, he weighed in at 139 pounds as well. His professional record, outstanding. 26 victories, including 18 knockouts, just 2 defeats. He is the pride, the son of Bolton, England, the WBA super lightweight champion of the world, Amir King Khan. Once again, referee in charge of the action, Kenny Bayless, with the final instructions.
Okay, fellas. Trunks are okay here. Punches got to be above. Trunks are okay here. Punches got to be above. Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want you to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck. Touch them up.
Does Danny Garcia belong? He feels he's been underrated his whole career and he has something to prove. Is Amir Khan the best 140-pounder in the world? He's got to shine here to quiet the voices who say he's been overrated.
Timothy Bradley has moved from 140 up to 147. Lamont Peterson is out because of his drug transgression for the moment. So the field is open for Khan to reestablish himself as the #1 man at 140. And he comes out aggressively in round 1.
Amir Khan is coming out doing exactly what he said he would do, and I respect him for that. He's going for a knockout right away. But Danny Garcia is taking it easy. He's real cool. Not as fast as Khan, but still a very solid, basic fighter.
Khan with a hard right hand behind the jab. Danny Garcia countered well with the right hand himself.
Well, you can see right here that Khan has definitely got the faster hand, maybe the most power, but Garcia's a solid, steady, consistent fighter. And therefore, he's going to have to be prepared every time he lands a punch to look for a punch back from Garcia.
Garcia is dangerous in exchanges because he's been fighting his whole life, because he has quicker hands than he's given credit for and solid punching power. In those exchanges, Garcia's dangerous.
Khan lands another right hand over the top. So far, Danny Garcia's chin is up to the test.
Well, that's good because he's been hit with almost every right hand that Khan has shot.
Well, when Khan looks good, he looks really good.
Well, he never looks bad in round 1. Knocked Maidana down with a body combination in round 1. Knocked Peterson down with a hard shot in round 1.
And we see Garcia landing some stuff in this first round, though he's being beaten in this round. He's landed some stiff shots.
Well, I think at the end of the day, Danny Garcia is the kind of fighter of whom you would say he's not going to beat himself. Amir will have to beat him honestly.
Well, he can't keep getting hit with those right hands because if he doesn't get knocked out, his eye and his face is going to start swelling up on the left side sooner or later.
Well, certainly Khan wants the knockout, but as the experience of Nonito Donaire a week ago in Carson, California proved, you don't get the knockout by focusing on the knockout, even if you're superior. Khan must box and make it flow.
And you're right, Jim, he's not using his left jab at all too much, and that's what his best punch is, I think, to set up his power punches. But he's not using the jab too much at all.
And he allows himself to get hit with a straight right hand by Garcia. Low blow by Garcia right on the cup.
You okay? One time? Okay.
Khan has 5 minutes, and typical of Amir Khan, he seems to want to come right back and fight right away.
Keep it clean.
He makes decisions that aren't always in his best interest. They're just the kind of decisions that we wish all fighters would make.
Absolutely. Lead left hook by Khan.
Okay, this stage Garcia seems to be settling in, getting very comfortable, and avoiding most of those right-hand punches from the Khan.
Nice. Good job. Nice job. Deep breath. All right.
Mouthpiece. When you feint him, you see he's reaching really bad, okay? Feint him up.
Downstairs, Danny. No le abre el tao, no solo abra. You heard me? Come on, Dan, you gotta get with it. You heard me? Listen, he's easy. He's not fast like they say, Danny. You can see everything. Don't jump out. He's catching jumping out when you're working, you're jumping out.
Here you see what is common in boxing now, and I think the referee used good judgment in calling this low blow because it was as a result of a punch pulling Garcia's head down, which the left hook from Khan was going over his head, which forced the punch to be low, which would have normally been probably the proper area.
Kenny Bayless, by my lights, a terrific referee who makes very strong judgments, is maybe the most athletic referee in Nevada.
He's universally recognized as a top referee.
CompuBox numbers in round one, pretty one-sided. Khan was 26 of 57. That's a very high accuracy rate. Garcia was 6 of 48. So you'd be shocked if it was scored any other way than 10-9 Khan.
Khan is extremely sharp. I am very impressed with the precision, punching, power, the balance. And unlike his fight with Lamont Peterson, he's settled down. He's not moving so much. He's not panicky fighting so much.
Well, that was one of Freddie Roach's big things coming off the Peterson fight. He wanted Khan to stop bouncing on his feet, stop giving the opponent the opportunity to knock him off balance. Stay flat-footed, stay steady, and stick his punches.
And he's doing a good job of that, too.
So far, this is the Khan that showed up to fight Zab Judah, a dominant fighter.
But not focusing as much to the body as he did against Judah, at least not yet. And it might be a good idea.
But meanwhile, Garcia is landing shots. He just landed a good right hand.
Keep it clean, fellas. Just keep it clean. All right, stop. Watch out, bro. Keep him up. Here we go.
Garcia seems to have adjusted, as I said earlier, to the right hands of Amir Khan. He hasn't been getting hit with those punches as much as was before, but the difference is the speed. He just doesn't match Khan with the speed. But he's catching Khan's punches, but he can't return fast enough.
The difference in speed dictates that Garcia must land 1 or 2 punches at a time, and Khan can throw 4-punch combinations.
Speed and length. Khan can hit Garcia where Garcia can't hit Khan back.
Garcia hit Khan on the hip. Bayless observed it but said nothing.
Stop!
Now Khan throwing the kind of jab Roach wants him to throw.
And it's funny, Garcia doesn't have really a straight right hand.
There's a cut over the right eye of Danny Garcia.
Garcia's landing some shots, guys.
He's going to have to. There may be some urgency now because that cut over the right eye looks like it may be a significant one.
Khan's, for a long fighter with a good jab, is fighting an aggressive fight here and giving Garcia some chances.
Yep.
Cuts in a bad spot for Garcia right over the right eyelid.
We'll wait to see between rounds if the cut came from a punch. I did not see a butt. But sometimes butts are hard to see. So significant blood around the right eye of Danny Garcia. We'll get a better look as we go to the corner.
Listen, Danny, you gotta be more crispy, man. You gotta be more, don't open it, dog, don't open it.
I'm not opening it.
Yeah, don't open it.
I'm not opening it.
Just why, just you work with it. Danny, listen, you're being too wide, Dan. Listen to me, come on, breathe. Breathe, Dan. Danny, le está dando, pero no está tirando puño, Danny. Está dando que he's picking you apart. You can't do that, Dan. You gotta step around, man. And let your hands go a little bit. Left uppercut, let's lean to your left when he's leaning in with the right. He's leaning towards your left. Left uppercut, man, watch him. Instead of just being out of control, watch him. Okay? Don't frustrate yourself with the blood or nothing. Stay calm, man. Come on, then let's work, man. You heard me? Let's work, man. Stay focused, okay? Stay focused, man. And don't be wild.
By CompuBox numbers, the first 2 rounds sensational for Khan. That time 30 out of 66. 12 of 49 for Garcia. Khan landing 23 power shots in the second round. Emmanuel, what's your thought about the location and the severity of the cut?
The cut is not as that severe, but what I'm looking at more concern is the intensity and the speed that Khan is attacking him with. And it seems like Garcia just can't match him in terms of speed, but also the pace seems to be slowing him down a little bit. It's a little too intense for Garcia likes to fight more relaxed, controlled pace, and Khan is not letting him do that.
Garcia gave a little sign after the second round. He tried to touch gloves, like, okay, you got me, good round. Not that it's capitulation, but it was an acknowledgement that he's being bested, and maybe a little bit of an attempt to make friends.
Yeah, I think Garcia showed us in our meeting yesterday that he doesn't want his father's outbursts to color anybody's perception of him. As he said, I'm a good guy. I'm not like that. Straight right hand by Khan. That time he led with it. Don't see that all that often. I've seen him lead with both the left hook and a right hand. He's developing more variety on offense.
And I'm not saying that Garcia's not still fighting hard, but when you see a guy do that already in the second round after taking a beating, it can be a signal. Sorry, Emmanuel.
You know, Garcia's punches, he shoots 10 right hands. 9 of them would be that kind of looping, short looping, clubbing type right hand. He doesn't shoot the straight right hands the way that Khan does, but sometimes at the end of those punches, he kind of moves Khan off of balance by landing, but he doesn't have a good straight right hand.
But he does have solid punching power, and he is hitting Khan every now and again. We just saw a couple shots where they didn't land flush, and Khan has been hurt and dropped several times in the past.
Indeed. But of course, we've seen a number of fighters who have chin problems early in their careers, and then when they develop confidence and get more comfortable in their style, take punches better as time goes on.
And don't kill themselves to make weight, as Khan did at 135.
And also, that's what I mean, it's a good point. A lot of times these guys, they're weakening themselves and making weight, which naturally makes them not be able to handle punches good.
Danny Garcia's face is breaking up under the pressure that Amir Khan is putting him under. Down goes Khan!
There it is.
Off a sensational counter left hook by Garcia. Sensational counter left hook. And Amir Khan may not get his senses back before the end of the round.
You okay?
Yeah, it's not like Madonna this time.
Kenny Bayless wants to see if he's ready to fight. Bayless is going to let him stay in the fight.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Amir Khan was in huge trouble. Made it out of the round. But that changes the fight entirely.
Okay. Okay?
Amir, how you doing? Okay.
All right, we gotta get hold of him and tie him up, okay?
Here you see Amir Khan throwing a right hand punch, getting caught with a left hook, followed through, and he didn't do anything wrong. This is just what happens in boxing when you have flash exchanges.
That's where Garcia's dangerous, in the exchanges. Solid amateur background, good pro.
That punch didn't catch Khan on the chin. It caught him on the neck under his ear, Emmanuel.
But I see if Khan has the same recuperative talents that he's shown in the past.
Garcia with a big opportunity. Khan's knee touch. That's another knockdown. 2 knockdowns so far for Danny Garcia.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Tremendous test now for Amir Khan. He came in with great confidence, thinking he could prove he's #1 in the 140-pound weight class again. Now he's been down twice. Once in the 3rd and once in the 4th.
Stop, stop, stop.
This fight is over. This fight is over. Khan doesn't seem to have the legs.
But he's got the heart.
He's got the heart.
He's got the heart.
Khan landed a huge right hand there. Garcia lands another big right in return. Khan just trying to block them. Oh, what a fight!
Unbelievable heart from Amir Khan here.
He still is aware of what's going on. He just can't control his legs. He's still hurt.
Bring him up!
What an uppercut by Khan. Good left hook. Another left hook by Garcia.
I think Khan needs to stay away from that uppercut. Garcia's catching him with that hook when he throws it.
Don't push, don't push.
I declared the fight over, and since that, Khan has taken over. But now here comes Garcia again.
And Garcia not going nuts and punching himself out here.
Oh, he's very smart. Garcia is fighting a very measured fight, trying to take Khan out.
Khan is still punching back and with power when he punches.
Now there's blood on Khan's face.
Khan starting to try to time the left hook and avoid it. When Khan can see the punches coming, he seems confident he can take them. It's in those exchanges when Khan throws the right uppercut and Garcia counters with the left that he's getting himself hurt.
Third knockdown. Third knockdown of the fight. Doing this round.
5, 6, 7, 8. You okay, Amir?
Kenny Bayless is going to stop the fight. Amir Khan has been knocked out. Danny Garcia has vindicated his father's misbehaviors.
Garcia's proven he belongs.
What did he have?
Same as he was in amateurs, never looking impressive, but consistently winning.
You have a new American star now, as Garcia has a really significant win now that takes him to the top of the 140-pound weight class. This is not like beating one of the faded fighters he had beaten in his last 3 fights.
A nice balanced out fighter with a solid amateur background, doesn't give up on himself. Not knocking anyone out among the critics, just knocking guys out in the ring.
Khan came in thinking knockout, didn't box the way he's supposed to box, gave Garcia chances, and paid the price.
But he was fighting all the way down. But Garcia's a solid, basic fighter.
And now you're looking at a career in crisis there, and a career blossoming into full force here. Now, here's the first knockdown in this round. Knockdown number 2 of the fight for Garcia and number 1 in this round. The third knockdown would come later. Emmanuel, just a perfect straight right hand over the top.
That's one of the perfect right hands. But, he was just too strong. And Khan was aware of everything, I think, but he just couldn't get his balance so much after that.
It becomes a knockdown because his glove touches the canvas there.
And now the second knockdown was really a punch that it seemed like it wasn't that much of a, but just he was just weakened at that time. He didn't even just blocking a punch. It still moved his whole body off of balance because he was not that strong enough to hold up.
Now, what about Kenny Bayless' stoppage here?
I think it's a good stoppage. Kenny was giving him a long time. Every time he gave him a count, he was asking him, talking to him, and he wasn't responding quick enough. Kenny Bayless did a great job tonight as a referee,
and he's one of the best. Meanwhile, Kenny Bayless was outfitted with a camera.
7, 8. You okay, Amir? No, I'm okay, bro. I'm okay.
Yeah.
That was the stoppage from the perspective of Kenny Bayless. And there is the celebration for Danny Garcia. So Garcia remains unbeaten. Khan has his 3rd loss. A shocking upset knockout loss to Danny Garcia. And now let's go to ring announcer Joe Martinez for the official particulars on the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes. 2 minutes, 28 seconds, round number 4. Referee Kenny Bayless calls a halt to the bout. Your winner by TKO victory, and still undefeated, the new Ring Magazine Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, new WBA Super Lightweight Champion of the World, and still the WBC Super
The boxing world was speculating on a possible fight for Amir Khan against Floyd Mayweather if he could get past this test. He did not get past this test. Danny Garcia is the new main man at 140 pounds off his stunning knockout win over Amir Khan. And now Max Kellerman is ready in the ring with the winner.
Danny, congratulations on a tremendous fight and a tremendous win. What are you feeling right now?
First of all, I want to thank God. I want to thank Al Heyman. He changed my life. I want to thank Golden Boy. I want to thank my dad, Angel Garcia, my brother Eric Garcia, Tony Davis, my conditioning coach, my mom, my sisters back at home, the whole Philadelphia, and all the Latinos around the world. I did this for y'all, baby.
And we, as boxing fans, all want to thank you for just a scintillating performance and a great action fight. What are you feeling?
Man, I feel great, man. I always knew I had it in me. I just needed a great fighter in front of me. I feel like the great fighters bring the best out of me. Amir Khan is a great fighter, and I knew if I fought him, it would bring the best out of me.
You haven't gotten a ton of credit as an amateur or pro, but all you do is win. What did you prove tonight?
I always been overlooked. Maybe it's the green eyes, the light skin. I look like a pretty boy, but I'm a killer, baby. And I fight anybody, anywhere, any place, like I always do.
Here's the third round. You knock him down. Tell us what you see.
I knew he was coming in, so I slipped down, set on my left hook, and just fired it. That's the same hook I hit Eric Morales with. We practiced that in camp.
He started really fast and had your father, it seemed, concerned in the corner after 2 rounds. I noticed that you try to touch gloves with him after the second round, and I was thinking, does Danny think he can win this fight?
No, we knew he was going to come out fast. I talked to all my people. I said, he's going to jump on me early because Freddie Rose thinks I'm a slow starter. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to slip shots. I'm going to feel his speed. I'm going to feel his power. And then after the third round, we're just going to try to step it up. I landed a good shot, and it just changed the momentum of the fight.
Here's the second knockdown in round 4. Tell us what you see here.
I really don't remember. I know it was a left hook. That's my big shot right there.
Night-night. Night-night.
He's been down before. He's been hurt before. I thought he showed a lot of heart getting up and fighting. What did you think after you hit him with some of those shots and he kept going?
Amir Khan is a world champion and one of the best fighters in the world. I knew that I knew if I hurt him, and if he even hurt me, I was gonna fight to the death, just like he fought. So I got nothing but respect for him, and you know, everything we said before the fight, it's a sport. We want to promote the fight, and it got all these fans here, and we did a great job of it.
All right, Danny, you just went from a guy who seemed to be moved carefully, and maybe he's not, to maybe the best guy at 140 pounds right now, maybe the best resume. What's next?
Whatever Al Heyman wants, my manager, the best manager in the world, Golden Boy Promotion, whatever my dad wants, whatever my family wants. But me, I want to fight the best, and whoever's out there, I want to fight the best.
Thanks, Danny, and thanks for tonight. I mean, that's what boxing needs. Appreciate it.
One more thing, I just want to say hi to everybody in Philadelphia, baby. We bringing back all the Latinos around the world, all the Boricuas in Puerto Rico. That's my blood. My family back at home, Mom, Siani, Angelise, I love ya. We on top, baby. Sam Al Heyman, my dad, I love ya, baby. Woo!
Amir, obviously disappointed right now. What are your thoughts at this moment?
Well, it just wasn't my night, you know. Made a few mistakes in there, and you know, got caught with the left hook. I mean, we must have been going in there. I was watching the replay there, and I must have gone in there with the hands low a little bit, and I paid my price. I mean, you know, I made mistakes, and you know, I got respect for Danny Garcia, the way he come back and the way he countered against the mistakes I was making.
Were you trying to fight too aggressively, given your size, given your reach, given your talent? Did it backfire?
Well, no, not at all. You know, we had a game plan and we were sticking to that. I mean, using the jab and stuff. But I think we did get complacent, and when we did get complacent, I mean, he paid. You know, that's where we paid for that. I mean, Danny Garcia put on a great performance, and he caught me with a shot that, you know, it was more of a blind shot. But you know, he caught me. I mean, that's boxing for you. One punch can change a fight, and I've always said that. And the way he come back was brilliant.
You've been on the deck before, you've been knocked down before, you've been hurt before. We always have seen you fight with tremendous heart whenever that's happened. Tonight was no exception. When referee Kenny Bayless stopped the fight, your legs were very wobbly. You've taken some terrible shots. It's coming up here. But you were saying you were okay. Tell me what you see here.
Well, you know, I was okay. I mean, after the second knockdown, I remember I was all right. And I remember the referee coming over to me and I thought I'll just take a couple of deep breaths and he just stopped the fight, which I was quite surprised. But I mean, I did take some shots and no, I was fine. I mean, my mind was clear and I really was surprised that the referee stopped the fight there.
You seemed to understand what was going on, but just not have control of your legs. Is that how it felt?
Well, no, you know, my legs were fine. I mean, I got up off the floor and I was fine. But I just don't know why, you know, maybe I must have took some big shots earlier. That's why the referee must have jumped in. But like I said, you know, I respect the referee and the commission and the judges and everyone. Maybe they made the right choice.
Amir, thanks as always. It was a great fight as long as it lasted. Appreciate the performance as always. Jim.
All right, thank you, Max. December was one thing. That was a controversial night. Tonight, Amir Khan has no excuses whatsoever. Emmanuel Stewart, it's one thing to be gifted, and he is, but you have to fight smart. And at the end of the day, Danny Garcia fought the smarter fight.
Well, you know, I really can't knock him here. He didn't do anything really wrong, Jim. I mean, it was one of those exchanges, and that's what makes boxing so exceptional from other sports. If you look at Garcia was landing a punch, was his head turning away, and it just seemed like the punch landed on the neck area of Khan, and I don't think he really got his equilibrium back together after that. He was aware of what was going on, but he couldn't get control of his body, seemingly.
Yeah, but perhaps that punch somehow affected Khan's inner ear, because he never seemed to have his legs and his balance after that one punch landed.
That's correct, but that's what makes boxing so exciting. A 6-1 underdog, I mean, everything, and everyone laughing at his daddy, but nevertheless, a great victory. And I hate to say it, it's good for the sport.
Oh, and it's great for the 140-pound weight class, because let's face it, if Khan had won the fight, he was probably going to move up to 147 in his next fight and vacate this division. Danny Garcia, I think, can be expected to stay at 140, which becomes a richer, more interesting weight class as the result of his win tonight, Max.
A star is born.
Absolutely.
But first, I just want to give a thought about Amir Khan and then make a quick comment about Garcia. The theme of Amir Khan's career, it seems, and we talked about this on your show, Jim, is no good deed goes unpunished. He behaves precisely as we'd like our prize fighters to behave. He'll fight anyone, even though he's been the money man and could have avoided opposition. You want him to take a drug test, fine. The other guy gets caught, he's clean. He behaved the same way as an amateur, fighting everyone, wanting to do the right thing constantly. Even here in this fight, where he's badly hurt, knocked down multiple times, busted up, he gets up and continues to try to fight. Even his strategy coming into the fight, Jim, rather than play it safe, use the jab, fight a cautious fight, he fought aggressively, he was gunning for the knockout, and sure enough, he gets punished for it. No good deed for Amir Khan goes unpunished, and yet I'm really happy we have him in the sport. Danny Garcia is a star. No one thing jumps out at you. He's not the fastest guy, not the biggest hitter, but he's solid all around, never gives up on himself. Himself has a tremendous heart, a tremendous chin. He's a good puncher. His spirit is the spirit of a fighter, and I'm really glad we have this guy. A star is born.
He's 24-0, and now he's the #1 man in the junior welterweight class. Meanwhile, earlier this evening on the undercard, we got a chance to look at a rising prospect off the eastern shore of Maryland, originally from the Dominican Republic, Fernando Guerrero. He's on the right in that picture right there. The opponent was Jose Medina, who was from New Hampshire. Round 2, Medina went down on a strong left hand from Guerrero, but from that point forward, it was a pattern fight in which Guerrero, the better offensive fighter, was in control all the way, but Medina, who was strong and willing, kept landing counter right hands, tested Guerrero from round to round to round, and proved strong enough to make it to the closing bell, where Guerrero won a unanimous decision to take his record to 24-1. He still has yet to fight a meaningful opponent, so he's somebody who could become a star, but we don't know yet. He hasn't had the kind of opposition that would prove it. Meanwhile, September 8th, we have a very special attraction for you, which is the light heavyweight champion of the world, Chad Dawson, is going to move down 7 pounds in weight to fight the 168-pound champion of the world, Andre Ward. They are 2 pound-for-pound list types. This was their news conference this past Monday, where you see the height advantage for Dawson. On the other hand, Dawson, who has a 3-inch height advantage over Ward, is going to give up 7 pounds and move down in weight to 168 to fight Ward. In that equation, Emmanuel, who do you think gets the advantage?
You know, it's interesting because as an amateur, winning the gold medalist when Andre won as a light heavyweight. And he's moved down fighting as a super middleweight as a professional fighter. And now Dawson moving back. So it's going to be very interesting. But I think the weight, I don't think is going to make that much difference, I think, with Chad losing it. I think it's going to be a very tough fight for both guys. And Chad Dawson, as even Floyd Mayweather Jr. himself said, is maybe one of the best fighters, and pound for pound, maybe one of the most talented fighters in boxing today. So it's going to be a tough test for Andre Ward.
That's September 8th. 1 week later on September 15th, HBO pay-per-view will bring you live to Las Vegas for the now hugely anticipated showdown for the middleweight championship of the world between the legitimate middleweight champion on the right there, Sergio Martinez, and the guy who has now very strikingly and obviously become the #1 contender, Julio Cesar Chavez, whose unbeaten career took on added luster a few weeks ago when he dominated Andy Lee and knocked him out in El Paso. Max Kellerman, I understand that you have already taped the face-off for Chavez Jr. versus Martinez. What strikes you as most fascinating about this terrific matchup?
They're both so confident. They both really believe that they're destined to win. This was a fight that was laughable even a year ago, 2 years ago. This was a promotional show. I mean, you know, Chavez had a name and they got him a belt and he was going to get massacred by Sergio Martinez. No one's laughing now. This is a very interesting matchup. I know plenty of people who think Chavez is going to win. He's big, he takes a great shot, and he's steamrolled some very solid opposition recently. Meanwhile, Sergio Martinez, though spectacular, is getting up there in age. He's been tested a little bit recently. Just a tremendous matchup. I really can't wait for this fight.
Martinez, since winning the middleweight championship, has 4 straight knockout defenses, and of course, the so-called governing bodies have stripped him of all his belts. They're bogus. He's not. September brings us great action on September 8th and September 15th. Meanwhile, let's look at what's ahead in the nearer term on HBO. Mark your calendars for the following HBO sports shows. This Tuesday, Real Sports returns with a profile of Dodgers superstar Matt Kemp, who's helping to resurrect the franchise. Next Saturday, 130-pound title holder and rising star Adrian Broner faces Vicente Escobedo. Looking ahead to August, Hard Knocks returns with the Miami Dolphins. 5 weeks of uncensored access beginning August 7. 24/7 Road to Ward Dawson premieres on August 25, leading up to their highly anticipated fight live on HBO September 8th. And on September 15, HBO pay-per-view brings you a matchup we're all looking forward to, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. against Sergio Martinez for the middleweight championship of the world. And we want to finish with one note. Before the fight tonight, you heard the 10 count for our now deceased star audio assistant at ringside, Paul Hogat. If you have ever been to a fight and watched us do our work, surely you saw Paul. Over the course of 35 years, Paul Hogat did more HBO boxing telecasts than any other member of our crew. He was the blue-collar heart and soul of this team. This team worked through heartbreak tonight because we never expected to be in the position of working without this guy. So his yellow hard hat is here to remind us of how much we loved him and how much we'll miss him. Tonight's telecast was dedicated to Paul Hogat. Thanks for being with us.
This has been a presentation of HBO Sports.